My name is Gwen, and welcome to your practice. We'll enjoy an hour together today of some creative movement, some gentle somatic yoga, and some breath work. So, as always, we'll start by stopping. And today I'm going to represent using the pool noodle and an encyclopedia. Know that you can, if you don't have any of this, you can roll up your blanket tightly. And this can be used as a bolster. This is a bolster, a cushion that's about the length of your spinal column. Or maybe you have a thick bolster. Anything that you have, please use it. Get creative. And so a heart bed here. So this is called a heart bed mainly because the heart rises as the shoulders sink down. So go ahead and build yourself a little heart bed. I've gone ahead and built a little bit more onto it with a blanket called a waterfall pillow. So how you go about doing that is you take your blanket, roll it at the top, then drape it over, and the roll will be right at the top of your support here. Then take your back, butt your butt right up to the noodle, the bolster, the cushion, the blanket. And then unfurl the spine. Feel the support that you're leaning into, one vertebrae at a time. The head right on top. Wherever you are, the knees can be bent for just a wee bit here. The focus today is gently coming to a place where the lights are on a little brighter from the inside. So as you close your eyes, feel and sense all the subtleties. The sensation up and down the spine as you let yourself gently sink into your support. You can press evenly into the feet and lift the torso a wee bit and then lower. You can rock from side to side. You can squeeze the shoulders in and out as you start to settle. And if it feels good, let this feel delicious. If there's too much sensation in the lower spine, you can always gently bring a blanket underneath the sit bones just to lift them just a little wee bit more so that you're not in an extreme back bend, if that's what's speaking to you right now. If it feels too much, it's too much. Take a pause here, take a breath, and notice from the inside out as the lights do come on a little brighter. And as you feel into your body, is it better to keep the knees bent? And if so, heel toe them a little wider so that the inner knees feel that lean, that knock, one leaning right into the other. You can remain here or lengthen one leg and feel how the foot can splay outward. Notice the sensation, and then what's it like to lengthen through the other leg? And as you pull in that breath, notice how the body can breathe in this shape today. What's it like to breathe with the heart nice and high? The chin a little closer to the heart center. Each exhale, lengthening through that upper spine just a little bit more each time. Each exhale, the shoulders might feel like they're sinking down and draping a little more, like weights. What's it like to close the eyes like this, so that you can sense and feel that internal environment here? We'll come into the Ujjayi breath, our victorious breath, cultivating this victorious feeling from the inside out once again. This prana, vital life energy, from temples to toes, and at the same time, coming into that deep, relaxed state of mind, the body, the whole system starts to relax a little more. So 2 cleansing breaths before we dive deeply in through our victorious breath. Take that next inhale all the way in and up through the nose, a light little pause filled with breath. Exhale it all out, a natural sigh. Inhale, light little pause and a inhale full and deep through the nose. Exhale through the nose. Inhale nice and full and deep. Light little pause and then exhale. Feel and sense how nasal breathing is for you today. In through the nose and out through the nose. Is it easy? Does it agitate your body, big or small? If so, let it go. Come to whatever breath feels good for you. And come back into it when you can. And notice if there's been any subtle shifts for you. As we breathe nice and fluidly here, in through the nose and out through the nose, come into the pauses that happen naturally. As you inhale, drop your awareness to the base of the spine. As you exhale, drop your awareness to the top. Float your awareness, inhaling down into that stability. Exhaling all that breath out. Float your awareness up into that insight. Inhaling into your foundation, the base of the spine. Exhaling a light little pause into that intuitive, those inner eyes. Inhale. Notice what you notice. Exhale. Feel into that subtlety, the quiet. Inhale, float your awareness all the way to the base of the spine, allowing full acceptance. Exhaling. Notice the quiet. Two more just like this. Inhaling, awareness down at the base. Feel your worth. like money in the bank, self-worth. A great use of our time. For one more here, build that reservoir of stability, of insight. And then go ahead and come into your natural breath here. It may be the Ujjayi breath for now. And notice what you feel. Maybe the shoulders have sunk down, 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 draping a little more as we connect to our core line through the Ujjayi breath. This breath has the ability to bring us fully online, connected, rooted. So one more breath just like this. Know that you can come to this place of quiet during your practice today at any time and observe. So on your next natural breath, go ahead and drift the toes up. Drag one heel, plant that foot, and then the other. Roll over to one side, right off of your props, and just for a moment, use those inner eyes and witness the sensation. Is there movement in the back body, up the spinal column? Can you feel a heat, a tingling? And what does that feel like to lay like this on the edge of the body? What does that top edge of the body feel like this? The width from one hip to the other, all the way up to the shoulders. And then go ahead and take your props off of the mat. We will be using either a block or your Encyclopedia. So go ahead and bring it off to the side and come flat on your back now. Hands can be downward, knees bent. Feel for a moment any subtleties of being flat from the base of the spine to the back of the skull. Knowing that the spinal column ends at the cheekbones, a light little rock of the back of the skull, just like this. Feel and sense the weight of the skull on the floor. A light little rock from side to side. Knees bent. Notice the length of your spinal column. And then pause. Lengthen through one leg at a time. Feel and sense the lower spine. If there's any sensation, big or small, notice. If there's any pinching or burning in that area, bend up the knees once again. Heel toe the feet a little wider and knock the inner knees. Come into your body scan now. Knuckles heavy, eyes closed. Feel the brightening on the inside. Notice how you feel as we breathe here together. Let's go ahead and drop all of our awareness to the heels. Feel how one foot might splay out a little more than the other. Then float your awareness from the heels up through the Achilles and down through the calf. Take your time and witness from one side to the other. Feel now through the knees. A silent thank you to our knees. All the way into the upper thigh. Feel from the top all the way down to where we might be hitting the mat. From one side to the other, is one side a little heavier, a little fuller? Is there more sensation? Like cello strings, can you feel the vibration in one leg more than the other? Like music, like a hum. All the way into the sit bones, is there an evenness or an unevenness? Through the lower lumbar sacral spine there, notice what you feel in that lower back. How far are you off the mat? To that mid-spine, right below the sternum. Fan broad and wide to the back of the shoulders. Take a moment to feel the weight coming through the back of the shoulders after a long held back bend, and some pranayama, some breath work. Again, a light little rock of the back of the skull. Feel and sense the cervical spine of the neck for a brief moment here. The front, the sides, the back of the neck, the collarbone, the jaw area. And then come into some stillness. Take a deep inhale. Exhale it all out and feel into your starting point. Take an inner snapshot of what we have here. And then go ahead and bend up the knees and take your time in an unefforted way. You'll press into one foot and then the other. I am going to use the Encyclopedia today for the block. You can use anything that's about that width, that thickness, a blanket, whatever it is. Maybe it's your bolster today. Maybe you don't want it as firm. You might want, if you have any pain or discomfort, you may want a little softer. So have it by your side. Know that we're going to slip it right underneath the back of the pelvis, this bottom part of the lumbar sacral spine. Then have your hands and your arms by your side. Walk your feet hip distance, heels a little closer to the sit bones. Feel now the shoulders, mainly the back of the shoulders. Take a deep inhale. Exhale, the tips of the shoulders come down. Feel the heart rise and pause there, filled with breath. And then exhale it all out when you can. Take a deep inhale. Exhale, tip of the shoulders down. Take an inhale there. Notice it might be difficult to breathe with the heart and the shoulders pressing. And then, let it go. One more just like that. Take a deep inhale. As you exhale, tips of the shoulders come downward. Pause. Press the length of your arms down to the fingertips. Feel that stability. Now press evenly into the heels, the big toe, baby toe, and let the pelvis come up. Feel the foundation of the feet, the arms, the shoulders, the back of the head. Now take the book or whatever you're going to place from one hip to the other and roll the spinal column down and feel now from one hip to the other. You might want to draw a line down to your support and notice that it's right there. So right from the iliac crest, you can draw a line all the way down to your support. A little rock at the back of the skull here. We are in a mild, a very gentle inversion with the pelvis up. A little higher than the heart. Heart a little higher than the sinuses. So go ahead and rock the head from side to side. As the skull rocks from right to left just a wee bit, notice a climb, a lengthening, an elongation of the spinal column as the back of the skull starts to walk up like a ladder. A little taller. You might have to adjust your rear view mirror. We will be getting a little taller today. And then you can pause. A little core integration here. So go ahead and press into one foot and let one come up at a time. The hand will be there to meet and greet that thigh. Leave the elbow like a wedge support down on the floor. Hand comes to meet that thigh. And then the other side when you're ready. Let it come upward. And then very softly feel. The inner big toes can touch. Maybe the inner knees for some of you. The heels can come down to the tush. Or you can have them parallel with the ceiling, the shins. Notice how the core is lit right up, ignited. So come to the Ujjayi breath. Use this breath to support you. As you inhale through the nose, feel the breeze at the back of the throat. As you exhale, bring that awareness into the navel. Let it come a little closer to the spine. Inhaling and exhaling. You might even feel the pelvic floor coming upward in a dome. And then very softly from side to side, a micro movement. Let the knees gently sway into one palm and then the other. The palms have an incredible amount of receptors that feed back to the brain. So let the sides of the thighs gently move up and down the palms. Feel the weight that comes down into the hands each time. As your range of motion might grow just a little more as we massage the back of the pelvis like this. You might want to pause if you feel a little something more, a trigger spot, maybe a breath or two. And then when you're ready, come on back to center. Bring the hands up and widen through the fingers and wrap. So bring the kneecap right in the middle and wrap. And then bring the heels downward. Then this is all about the elbows now. Bend the elbows and let the thighs come closer to the belly. Then lengthen through the elbows. Bend and then lengthen. Back and forth just like this. You might feel the edge of the book coming into the top of the pelvis. And then let's come into a circular motion. So let the legs come over to one side, bend the elbows over to the other side, and then lengthen. It might feel more like a square. All four corners of the pelvis. A little massage. And in a continual motion, much like the breath, notice now. Is it smooth to circle the pelvis like this? And what does that feel like for you? Can you go the other direction? Eyes are closed once you have the gist of this, so that the lights are a little brighter on the inside. And feel into all the sensations that we're creating, just like this, as we wake up this part of the body. And then come on back into center. Flex the feet, toes to the nose, heels outward. Take a nice inhale and let the heels guide the way up, toes to the nose. As you exhale, let them bend and tap one foot down. Then bring it up. You'll inhale up. You can marry this with the breath. As you exhale, the other toe comes to tap. Inhale full and deep. Exhale, tap. Take your time inhaling, lengthen, lengthen, bend both knees and tap. Yogi's choice now to inhale both up, exhale both down. A little tap. Notice the belly works just a little harder. Inhale up, and maybe you tap the toes down a little further out. Wherever you are, one more here. As the feet come down, you pause. Let both feet come down into the floor. Palms down, arms down. And take a breath. Walk the feet a little closer. Take a deep inhale. As you exhale, tips of the shoulders come down. Pause there. Press into the length of your arms to the fingertips. Pause. Press into the heel, big toe, and hover just a little over our support. Go ahead and take the book, the block, blanket, or bolster out. And let the pelvis remain upward. Notice the sensation. Take a deep breath there. As you exhale, feel the top of the spine gently come down, one pearl at a time, like a pearl necklace. One vertebrae, then the other. Lower spine rolls into the mat. Lengthen through one leg, then the other, as we scan the body once again. Roll the knuckles to the floor, palms upward. Let the toes dance the dance of joy here. Connect to that inner grin and feel all the deliciousness that has seeped in. Notice the sensations through the toes, the legs, the lower spine, all the way up to the shoulders. Give the back of the skull a light little rocking sensation. And then come into your stillness and notice how the body can breathe here. Notice the brightening on the inside. And one more breath, just like that. Beautiful. And then from here, we're going to come into what's called Banana Sana. This is a pose that can be done with or without any props. So just on your back here, visualize a half moon shape or a ripe banana. That will be our whole edge of our body, our spinal column. So we'll start by gently feeling our sit bones anchored into the mat. They do not move. They stay anchored right into the mat. Then you'll move the right leg over to the right, just a hair, just a wee bit. We'll come into this softly. And then the left one will come over there. It never has to meet, just over to the right. Take the right foot and anchor it over that left, like a weight. You can always inchworm it a little more over to the right if you don't feel any tug down that outer hip area. So keep it soft. Then we'll invite the upper body here. So when you're ready, the arms can come upward. You can hang on to one arm, wrist, fingers, or not. When you bring the arms up, it doesn't feel good, then leave them down. Where you are is perfect. So these add-ons are up to your body today. So feel the back of the skull, feel the shoulders, and now inchworm just a little over to the right, and maybe a little more. Breathe into wherever you are, and maybe that's absolutely perfect where you are. 2 wee minutes right here. Feel into the edge of the body. Notice the lengthening where the sit bones are. Relax through the jaw. Feel it slacken. Notice what it's like to be in this shape. A hug on one side and an opening on the other, deeply coming into our core line through the obliques, the intercostals, all the way into the spinal column. With time, as we gently move into that soft tissue through our breath. Come into the Ujjayi breath here and allow the core to hold you through the breath. In through the nose and out through the nose. Feel that light breeze at the back of the throat and listen. Can you hear the ocean sound of the breath? And what does that feel like? The belly soft. Two more breaths just like that. A deep inhale. Very soft, lengthening exhale. And one more breath. And then when you're ready, the arms, if they were upward, let them come down first. Let the head with the eyes closed come back to your new center line. Undo the legs and walk one foot back and then the other. Feel into your center. Temporarily, you might feel that feeling of fragility in the body as that light tug might have shifted a few things, a little movement. So breathe into the effects of that pose as the body starts to observe. Feel the whole back body. Divide the body up in two and feel one side and then the other. And one more breath just like that. Then anchor those sit bones down and go ahead and take the left leg over and then the other. Take that outer foot, outer leg, cross it over. Feel the weight coming down. This might feel perfect on this side, or you might want to scooch it over a little bit each as your body shifts. Notice your starting point. It may grow as we stay and breathe in this shape. Give yourself permission to stay like this, or the arms can come upward. Feel the back of the skull, the back of the shoulders. If you'd like to come a little bit more into this right banana shape, then please do. You'll press into wherever you feel that groundedness through, and then inchworm yourself over. It might be the sit bones, the shoulders start to move over the head, the arms. Wherever you are, 2 wee minutes here in this shape. Eyes are closed as you sense and feel that beautiful hug on that inner edge. If it's your left side, notice from the rib cage to the hip, gets a little closer. You might feel the outer edge for a breath, 2 or 3, from the hip into the rib cage, that expansion. Each breath a little more. Relax through the jaw. Come into the breath. And let yourself melt into this shape. Feel the breeze at the back of the throat. Let it soften, soften, soften. As we shift and shape shift, the bones move, the connective tissue. We feel this light tug. Breathe into that light tug. A little traction. Where you feel that light traction, that light tug, it will become a little more pliable. Flexibility will increase. Range of motion. Circulation. One more breath just like that. Like a yawn, the arms can come upward and then downward. The head can come back to its new center line. Unravel the legs. We're careful not to fling out of this shape. Slowly come out. Coming out of a yin pose is as important as going in. Let the body absorb its new normal. Feel and sense one side and then the other. Momentarily, temporarily, a feeling of fragility. It's a good thing. Divide the body in two up that center line. Feel up one side through your insight now. Feel from the toes up to the sit bones. From the sit bones to the shoulder, to the middle of the brain. And then down that other side. Notice as the body starts to accept and allow. All that resistance will fade away. And then one more breath just like that as we become a true receiver. Beautiful. Now we'll integrate all of that goodness through a pose called flamingo. So go ahead and bend up the knees and roll over to one side. Here you might need your blanket as a pillow. So if you do, have it folded at the top of your mat, just in case you might need it as a pillow. It'll be up to this bottom shoulder. So once you come on over to your side, bring your top hand to rest in the lower hand. Head either on the pillow and then discover what this lower shoulder is saying. If it's saying it needs a little more height underneath, then it's the art of folding. Go ahead and fold the blanket another time. You'll come onto the edge so that we have somewhere to roll our back of our skull onto. I will represent using no prop underneath the head. And then feel that top leg resting on the bottom leg. Both knees are bent. And then very softly feel the top toe, the big toe. Draw a line with that big toe down. Let the inseam of the leg drag. Notice the drag. Notice the toe dragging on the mat as you draw that line down. It will straighten, and as it straightens, feel the top hip. Let it come forward. Roll it forward. Roll the head into the mat to the forehead. And outreach that bottom hand a little bit or a lot. Pause there for a breath, 2 or 3. Bend that top knee and relax into this shape. Take another breath. And then drag that top leg up. Feel the drag. Notice what's happening to the body as that top leg drags up. Thigh towards the belly a little further, a little further. Notice how the body might open up. That top hand drags to the elbow, maybe to the shoulder, to the back of the head. And then come all the way back slowly. Roll to the forehead. Move as slow as you comfortably can as you drag that top leg down, down, down. Know that you can pause there for a breath or 2 or 3. Or continually move in a fluid, continual motion. As you roll and drag the hand across the heart center, it can unravel in a T shape. You can pause there for a breath, 2 or 3. You might want to carry that arm up like an arc, all the way upward as you drag that top leg downward, coming all the way to wherever it feels good. Eyes are closed, explore. Maybe staying exactly where you are in a small range of motion. Rolling a little this way and that is perfect. Or opening up, perfect. Know that that arm can come upward if you're on your back, and it can drape for a breath or 2. So wherever you are, noticing how you feel. Taking a few pauses along the way or continually moving. Dragging that top leg up towards the belly as you open up that heart center or dragging it down, down, down as you come into that wilted flower shape. Notice how the body can twist and move and roll like this as we wring out and cleanse. Gaining a little more coordination from the top half to the bottom half of the body. And how about just a handful more breaths wherever you are, in stillness or in gentle movement, just like that. Flamingo is safe to do a handful of times, 10, 12 times, perfectly safe. You feel a little something, you're doing it right. Let this feel good. And then go ahead and come right onto your back body. Take a moment in a body scan to feel from the toes through the shins, the top of the leg to the lower belly. Notice the torso to the shoulders, to the middle of the brain. Notice the brightening from the inside out here. And one more breath just like that. And then go ahead and come on over to the other side. Feel what it's like to come right onto your side, edge of the body. Notice the lower shoulder and if it's happy. And let's come right into it, so we won't break this one up in bits and pieces. So when you're ready, take a deep breath. Drag that top leg downward. Roll to the forehead and top hip comes down, down, down. You might pause there for a breath, 2 or 3, or continually move and drag that top leg into the belly, into the flamingo part of this. That top arm might unfurl in a T shape. That might feel super great to pause there for a breath, 2 or 3, in that beautiful twisty spine. Or continually move, painting that rainbow around you. Notice how you feel. From one edge of the body to the other as we come into this self-massage, rolling around. Allow the body to feel good. Come into that playfulness of this pose. Let your curiosity guide you now. Full body coordination, integration, stirring it all up. If you're on your back, remember you can lengthen through that outer arm and reach up like a yawn, and then allow it to drape for a breath or 2. Or continually move, whatever feels super good. And how about one more breath here? And then go ahead and, when you're ready, come into a light little body scan. Notice what flat on your back feels like now. You might want to imagine each cell with a beautiful pink heart. Notice that vibration, this movement, as your body starts to absorb. Might be easy to connect to that inner grin now, that inner Mona Lisa smile. We're going to use that power in a moment to sit up to a comfortable seated position. So one more breath right here. And then go ahead and bend up the knees. Float your body over to one side. Use that top hand and the momentum to carry yourself up to a comfortable seated position. Here's where we might use our blanket right underneath the seat. And if you have a noodle, a bolster, or another blanket, bring it by. You might even bring your book close by for support, your blocks, all your yoga toys. Go ahead and collect them. Then go ahead and come into Supta Baddha Konasana, or butterfly for us yinsters. And then the soles of the feet come together to meet and greet. Some of you with the sit bones up high might feel like the legs are flailing. So you can bring something underneath closer to the tush so you can feel a little supported. Or you can come with your back to the wall, back to the back of the couch, and lean in just a wee bit. Let yourself feel supported here. Then dust off your visionary skills for a moment and feel a golden cord coming out from the heart center, drawing the heart forward and then back. Chin parallel with the floor first, so that we come into that lower spine just a little differently here. We won't invite the upper spine in quite yet. So feel a light little rocking sensation. Eyes closed once you have the gist of this. And then let's invite the upper spine in with an inhale, chin up. Exhale, round that spine, chin down. Inhale up. And then exhale down. 2 more. Notice how this feels. Last one. And then pause. Bring the hands to the ankles, shins, or wherever you can feel comfortable. Bring the elbows in and press into the elbows. Let the knees win. They come upward. Up, up, up. And now let the elbows win. The legs create a little resistance. And then soften. Let yourself come forward just a wee bit. And then up. And we'll do that again. Press the legs into the elbows. Feel the resistance as they come upward. In a continual motion, let the arms press down as the body comes forward. Just a wee bit. And then relax. Torso comes up. We come into it again. Last time. You press evenly upward. Arms press evenly downward. Feel that continuum. Torso comes forward. Pause. 2 breaths just like that. Take a deep breath in. Feel the length through the palate, through the crown. And then exhale. And then 1 more. Take a deep breath. And then exhale. Ha. And from here, good news, Shavasana. Let's go ahead and come nice and flat. Some of you, if you have a bolster, can take that bolster underneath the knees or the thighs. This is where you can use your blanket as a blanket. Or for some of you, it might be super tasty to bring the blanket right over the eyes if you're nice and warm already. So you can have your blanket, if you only have one of them, just over the eyes. Arms out, or if you're a little chilly, maybe hands on the belly, or if it feels super nice to just feel the belly, then please do. Shavasana, final resting pose. Allow the body to rest here. Notice how you feel from temples to toes. A little subtle movement, breath. Notice the effects in your body as we unwind now and unravel. Our doing is done. The muscles around the eyes can soften. The jaw, it slackens. We let go of the control of the breath, of the muscles. Dial all your attention now into that openness, like the sky. Each inhale, feel that love, that compassion, that joy towards yourself. Each exhale, send it out these walls to all those that need a little kindness, a little joy, a little love. Inhale, feel those little hearts. Each exhale, these pink hearts go flying out, floating out in all directions. Kindness, love, joy. Notice how you feel as we share a little of this outward. If you have more than an hour to spare today, then allow yourself to remain here for as long as you'd like. But if you've only carved out an hour today, then go ahead and take a nice deep breath here. Let the arms reach up, legs outward. Hug them in, a little rock to one side to the other. As you roll over to your side body, feel that psychic hand come and give you a pat on the back for simply showing up, allowing yourself some time here to unwind. And then when you're ready, give a little press into the floor, feel the weight of the head. Let it hang as you come up. It comes up last. Come into your comfortable seat. Whatever that means for your knees, let them dictate. If they've been achy, they never have to bend. Use the blanket, keep that warmth. Notice what you've generated in your body now. Let it come with you. And as you find your comfortable seat, feel the sit bones, feel the lengthening like an antennae all the way up through the spinal column. Lengthen up, up, up through the palate, through the crown. Earlobes over shoulders, shoulders over hips. Breathe into the front of the spine, the back, the sides. Feel what you're made of here. Notice the lights on the inside a little brighter. Then go ahead and take the palms together in deep appreciation for yourself. Feel that warmth. Thumbs at the heart center. Feel all that support all around you. Take a deep breath into it. A light little bow. Feel that generous spirit, this loving kindness float out beyond these walls to your family, the community, and the world. Namaste. And thank you for your practice.